Hello everybody, it's your Lamatibu here, and in today's video we'll be playing Attila Total War on the legendary Battle of Adrianople, playing as the Goths and just basically showing you how to win if you're struggling. So this is my method of winning. So basically we start off the battle by just aligning our troops thusly. We're going to have the missile troops behind the spear wall and the pike wall. If you have your sword infantry on the front lines, then they're going to get absolutely destroyed by missiles and cav. So you want the spear wall and the pike wall to absorb that. And obviously you want the missile troops lined up together so that they can mass fire on their missile troops so that you can win the shootout. So just setting up at the moment. And yeah, it's just very important to get a good setup at the start so that you can minimize your casualties. Because if you are really cavalier with your infantry placement, then you will get quickly massacred. So it's worth taking a little bit of time. Yeah, I'm putting the axemen there on the flank because obviously when the cav comes along, or if we're being outflanked, they can quickly dispatch any of the flanking force. You want to keep your general safe as well. If you let him die early on in the battle, if at all, then that's pretty much game over. So yeah, I put my skirmishers right on the front line there, as you can see. And that's just because I want them to take the maximum amount of missile fire whilst the bowmen and slingers dispatch the other units. Just because the bowmen are way more useful. You want to be using your bowmen and your slingers later on to target the general so that you can kill him or rout him so that his army will run. So yeah, I put them in loose formation. There we go, whacked on the spear wall. Spear wall's really good for absorbing lots of missiles in its own right, to be honest. Guy's kind of wavering kind of early there. They don't normally waver that early, but I don't know. I think it's just because I was a bit slow there. Which shows you can make mistakes. Doesn't have to be perfect. So yeah, don't forget to maximize your casualties by applying the buff. The magical buff. Beautiful magic buff. So yeah. The enemy skirmishers, they die pretty quickly, and then that leaves their bowmen. The bowmen and the slingers, they can take a bit longer to kill, especially for your slingers, since their range isn't great compared to the range of their bowmen. So you might have to shuffle forwards. If you're going to shuffle forwards, like I'm doing here, then you want to make sure that you're out of spear wall, and then apply spear wall after you've finished moving, because if you apply spear wall and then move, the game limits the spear wall's length, so it's like a clump of men rather than a line. So always apply spear wall after you've moved, and I think it's the same with testudo as well, if you want like a really long testudo. So yeah, moving my Thracians at the back there, those guys will be really handy in the melee to come, so you want to keep them healthy along with these Gothic warband infantry as well. I place them there just in case we get flanked. They can quickly turn on their missiles, throw some shit, kill some shit, and then attack some shit. So here we go, here's the cavalry charge. Now I've got my pikemen and spear wall that will quickly repel the cavalry charge. Make sure your missiles obviously don't shoot into the backs of your men. Tell them to stop firing if they do, or just to target the bowmen there. Now you'll notice with my pike formation, a lot of people don't seem to know this, but the way to use pikes in this game and in Rome 2 is to overlap them with another unit. If you overlap them with like another pike unit or two, then basically nothing will get through with ease, and you'll maximize the amount of kills that unit's able to accomplish. However, what's also good if you're playing as the Romans, getting some pike units and then having an attacking or defensive testudo on the front line of the pikes, so the sort of pikes are just protruding through the testudo. It just means that the testudo will sort of absorb all of the like melee attacks, but the back lines of the pikes will punch through and get loads of kills without having any losses, which is really useful. See, I'm just repelling the attack here right now. The cavalry attack's pretty much done. It pisses me off the way it like interrupts formations. Like you can see my pike wall on the left there. It's just like been completely fucked up, so I have to like rearrange. I have to do it quickly because otherwise the cavalry will come back and then just hit you in your ass. Oh, there we go. Smash it up. So yeah, we're just holding ground on this hill. Yeah, make sure you don't throw your shit into the backs of your men like I just did there. That's kind of dumb. Bad micro. Alright, now that the general's close enough, now we can start to target him with the missiles. You want to just, when he's in range, you just want to pour everything you got into him. I'll do it with my slingers in a bit, but they're kind of at a bad angle. They can't like shoot upwards, they can only sort of shoot straight. So at the moment it's just the archers. Now your spear wall will flounder as soon as they're attacked there, so I advise doing what I'm doing, just charging in with some men. I actually changed my mind here. I thought it would be a better idea to actually use the Gothic warband because they're better infantry against infantry, whereas the Thracians are really great, especially against cavalry, but they're also great against infantry, but they're just really like the most effective troops against taking out, like, say, the general. So he's there. Am I going to attack? I can't remember if I do. I sometimes do if I'm doing this battle. Yeah, I do. As soon as you like whack them into melee though, general will pull back, and that's when you just pelt him with missiles. There we go, he's pulling back now. So right now I've just formed like this big blob of infantry. You want to try and outflank as much as you can. You can see I've got some axemen there. I'm just waiting to see what the AI does, whether they charge me on the flanking force or if they charge straight down the middle, because if they obviously charge straight down the middle I would have just attacked them straight away. Okay, general's looking a bit ready to be ripe for the picking, so I just pelt him. You want to be killing the general as soon as possible. Unfortunately, I didn't actually manage to kill him in this battle. I only managed to rout his entire unit. There was only like 2 guys left or something, maybe even 1 guy left, and it was just him, which is such bad luck, but it goes to show that you don't necessarily need him dead in order to win. However, you want to be routing his unit to get him out the battlefield. So as you can see there, they've just sort of charged funny, so I just broke formation from the pikes, just so I can get some flanking attacks. Remember to also hit the ability just to maximize the amount of offensive and defensive abilities you have. Here come the cavalry, Captain! Now, your cavalry placement, you know, this is just half the battle. If you fuck up on your cavalry placement, then the battle will be lost no matter how well you've done so far. You want to split your forces. You don't want them all there like I just did. I just noticed, oh shit, what have I done? So I quickly moved them at the back there. And I will split them in a sec. You want half right, half left. Because if you put them all on one side, then the AI will just group their infantry, repel your cav, and then you'll be kind of in the shits. You want everybody to be attacking this big infantry archer blob. And then obviously just hammer and anvil that shit as much as you can. Ideally, I kind of like sort of 1 Lancer's unit, because you only get 1 Lancer unit. I like 1 Lancer unit on each side, just for flexibility. They're about to rout. I noticed the axemen about to rout, so I just made my pike line as long as I could. I withdrew the infantry there. As you can see, I'm trying to overlap it over the pike unit, just so they can last slightly longer in melee. And yeah, I pull back to this hill in particular for this battle, just because it's so much easier to defend. Like the fort as well sort of interrupts the flanking maneuvers of the AI a bit more. They're sort of more willing to attack you head on, so you can hammer and anvil. So here we go. I can see a lot of the infantry. I think I moved out a bit too quickly with my cav there, which stopped that legion on the far right from engaging into melee. However, obviously Lancers, they will quickly dispatch a Legio unit really quickly. The main concern for this battle when you're in this situation here is definitely the Auxilia Palatina. They are really tough to kill. You want to be sort of dodging them as much as you can with your cav until sort of the last part of the battle, just because they will massacre cav and infantry alike, and they will not break. They are so tough. You want to break as much as of the other army as you can before you engage. So right now I'm just wrapping up the line as much as I can, pulling back some cav so I can hit the charge again as hard as possible. Part of this battle's luck, to be honest. If just a unit of infantry can block everything and fuck up everything and cause your infantry to be massacred, you need to be striking as fast as you can on the backs of these guys, because otherwise they will massacre your infantry and then your cav will be finished. Yeah, and also make sure your general's safe. You can see mine's like at the back there. He's not taken any missile damage, any melee damage so far. I'll use him towards the end just to charge downhill, get the hill bonus of melee so I can hold them in place for the cav. But you want to be sort of using him as your old guard of Napoleon, you know, when you need them most and not a moment sooner. So I'm just pulling back. The line's rolled up nicely and forcing all of the infantry and archers I have left to attack the flanks. Get some nice hammer and anvil going. My main concern now is just the big clump at the far right. Well, straight in front of me, I guess, from this view, but yeah. You want to wrap up everybody else until you hit that, ideally. I've sent in my general. He's just going to butcher them. You know, the general's really good in melee, but obviously you want to use them last. You don't want to kill him off quickly. Right now, even if he dies right now, it's okay, just because the battle's won. Wrapped up their lines, we vastly outnumber them, they're wavering. It's okay to play a bit more risky. There we go, that's the battle done. I could get more kills from here if I wanted to make the stats look better, but I thought, fuck it, let's just end the battle. As soon as the chap stops talking, there we go. End battle. Praise the gods. And that's how to win on Legendary. Pretty simple, but all it matters is placement. There we go. Have fun, everybody.